You brought out a national treasure, wild blood ganoderma. But the state-run station master only offered you 20 yuan to send you away. But you didn't even beg. Instead, you knocked his teeth out. Just because you were too honest in your past life, you ended up losing everything. Now you get to live again. You've seen through human greed. From now on, you'll never wrong yourself again. Right then, Linda heard a crisp ding in his head. A mechanical voice blasted out. Wilderness Beast King system activated. Host status, healthy. Starter pack has been given. Gained 1 TAMING point. Linda froze, gritting his molars hard. A second chance at life. And now a cheat too. This time, if anyone dares touch a single hair on his sister. If anyone dares lay a hand on his sister, he'll chop their hand off. Clang. A rusty iron pot in the yard got kicked over. It rolled a few times in the mud. Linda, stop playing dead in there. Get out here right now.
Bam!
The shabby wooden door was kicked open. The hinges broke off. Dust flew everywhere. Underling of the village thug, Lei Guzi entered with a tough guy covered in scars. Lei Guzi was holding a thick wooden stick. He pointed at Lin Yi's nose and cursed. The 50 yuan you owe brother Long is due. If you can't pay up today, that sick one in the other room has to come with me. Lin Yi rolled out of bed, blocking the door to the back room. He stared hard at Lei Guzi. 50 yuan in 88 was a big deal. Even 3 months of hard labor couldn't save that much. He borrowed that loan for his sister's medicine. The interest is clearly set to kill him. I'll pay it back. You're not taking anyone today, Lin, the said coldly. Lei Guzi grinned. He laughed with the thug behind him and went, oh wow, feisty now. Finally got a backbone, huh? What are you gonna pay with? With your worthless life? The flesh on his face twitched. He raised his stick and charged for the back room. Not only am I taking someone, I'll ruin you first. Lin, bent his knees. Muscles tense, about to risk it all, when overhead, the thatch, and the rafters made a rustling sound. A snake with a bright green tail tipped with red was creeping down the rafters. Trimeresurus stejnegeri. This thing is notorious for its venom in the 10,000 mountains. If it bites you, you won't last 7 steps. He stared at the loud, shouting Lei Guzi. The snake's triangular head arched up, preparing to strike. System voice chimed again. Detected high-risk creature, Trimeresurus stejnegeri. Use 1 tame point to subdue? Tame, Linda shouted in his mind. A hot rush poured from his head through his whole body. His eyes heated up. His blood boiled. Taming successful. Gained shared ability. Thermal vision. Gained passive skill. Basic poison resistance. Linda blinked hard. The world in front of him changed. Lei Guzi and the tough guy became 2 glowing red and yellow figures. Lei Guzi was still yelling curses. His neck and chest glowed bright red. Linda looked back at the room behind him. He could see right through the wooden wall. There was a reddish figure lying in bed. That was his feverish sister. Even the tiny mouse in the corner hole showed up as a little red dot. Lin Yi felt confident now. Lei Guzi saw Lin standing there stunned, looked around and thought he was scared stupid. He spat and came over. Playing dead, huh? I'll bust your damn legs first. He gripped the stick tight in both hands, raising it over his head. Lin Yi sneered and didn't dodge. He thought to himself. The green pit viper on the rafter got the order. It shot out like a flash. Lei Guzi's neck turned cold. A slimy and icy thing wrapped right around his throat.
His stick arm froze midair.
He looked down, totally freaked out. A triangular green head right in front of his nose. Its bright red tongue hissing away. Almost licked his lips. Its sharp fangs glinted coldly. Lei Guzi screamed mama. Dropped the stick, legs shaking. A disgusting smell ran down his pants. It pooled in the mud. The tough guy plastered himself to the wall in terror. Face pale, not even daring to breathe. That's a Trimeresurus stejnegeri. You'd run if you just saw one. Now it's wrapped around someone's neck. Who would dare move? Linda walked over slowly. Go ahead, try moving, he said. Right in front of the 2 of them. He grabbed the viper's head without fear. Guzi's eyes went wide, thinking the snake would bite. He squeezed his eyes shut, waiting to die. The tough guy covered his eyes too. But this deadly viper didn't bite anyone. Instead, it coiled once around Lin Yi's wrist, rubbing against his thumb. Lindy, to test his poison resistance, put his finger near the snake's mouth. The viper gave a light bite. Venom injected. Linyi just felt a slight tingle in his finger. Not even a red mark left. His body absorbed the venom. Leguzi stared in disbelief. Is Lin some kind of monster? Even the venomous snake listens to him. Got bitten and nothing happened. Lei Gaozi's legs gave out, and he dropped to his knees, sobbing, "Brother, the grandpa, I was wrong. My mouth got ahead of me." Lei Guzi kowtowed repeatedly, face covered in tears and snot.
He changed his tune about the money.
Begging, "Please just get that ancestor away from me. I got a family to feed." Behind him, the tough guy's knees shook, hugging the wall trying to sneak out. Linyi glared at the kneeling Guzi. "Get lost," he said. "Tell Zhao Hailong. I'll pay him back tomorrow with interest. If he steps foot in my house again, that snake will be around his neck next time." Lei Guzi kept saying yes, yes, yes. "I'll tell him, really. I swear I'll tell him." Lei Guzi scrambled and crawled out. Linyi kicked the tough guy out too. The pit viper still wrapped docilely around his arm. Linyi watched them vanish, then patted the obedient viper on his wrist, pushed open the broken door and went inside. The room smelled musty. His 12-year-old sister Lin Xiaoyao lay on a broken wooden bed, covered with a tattered quilt. Her body was skin and bones. Her lips cracked and dry. She heard the noise. Lin Xiaoyao opened her eyes. Her voice was so tiny, like a mosquito's. She called brother. Lin, that sat beside her bed, touched her forehead and said, "It's okay now. The bad guys are gone." She's a little feverish, been running a mild fever for days. They don't even have a few pennies left for fever medicine. There's no money at all. The rice jar's been empty forever. Not a single grain left. Her belly growled from under the covers. Lin Xiaoya shrank back embarrassed. Lin gritted his teeth in secret. In his last life, he failed to protect his sister. Now that I can handle snakes, I'll never let him go hungry again. Zhao Hailong will definitely come back tomorrow. Just scaring him with snakes isn't enough. I need to make money fast to save our home and get something good for my sister to eat. Linda said, "Little one, just sleep for a bit, okay? I'll check the back of the mountain. I'll find you something good to eat." Linda grabbed the old machete from the corner and headed out the door. Behind the house stands the vast primeval forest. In 1988, the rainforest was untouched. Tall trees blocked out the sky. The ground was so thick with dead leaves, they'd bury your ankles. This place is full of treasures, but also loaded with snakes and wild boars. Even old hunters don't dare to go deep. Linda hadn't gone far into the woods. Suddenly, yellowish-green mist rose ahead. It rolled low along the ground, enough to kill a big deer. That's poisonous miasma. One breath and you'd drop dead, become fertilizer. If this was before, Linda would have turned right back. But now things are different. A ding went off in his head.
He'd just tamed a bamboo pit viper.
Now he had snake skills, thermal vision. His eyes suddenly felt so clear. He opened them again and the whole world changed. Tree trunks glowed blue and black, all cold shades. And that poisonous miasma ahead, spewing from decaying thunderground, was warmed by the earth's heat. It showed up as a dark red patch. He grinned. With these eyes, the jungle's easier than a city street.
He locked onto the dark red mist.
Spotted a safe gap between two thick patches. A blue-black path in between. He gripped the machete and stepped forward. Slipped left and right like an eel. Didn't even brush the poisonous fog with his clothes. He crossed the miasma easily. There was a shady slope ahead. Linda switched off his skill, let his eyes rest a bit, then turned thermal vision back on, scanning around. Up ahead in the blue-black, he spotted a faint yellow glow. It wasn't the animal's heat, but a special warm color. Linda perked up. Normal plants show up cold, but if something's grown underground for years, old medicinal roots take the earth's energy and give off that yellow glow. He walked over fast, pushed the weeds aside, and found a patch of yellowed, heart-shaped vines. Wild yam, judging by the thick vines, meant there had to be a big one underneath. He squatted and swung the machete, digging right at the roots. The soil was loose with rotten leaves. A few digs and the thick root poked out. He followed it down 1/2 meter, pulled out a wild yam as thick as his arm. The skin was covered with root hairs, so heavy in his hands. Man, this thing's at least 10 years old. Linda weighed it in his palm. Happy. Pure wild yam from the 80s is super valuable. 1 pound sells for several yuan. He kept digging along the vines. Less than half an hour later, he'd found 7 or 8 roots, all sizes, grabbed some vines, and made a simple backpack. He was carrying at least 20 pounds. Tomorrow he'll pay back Xiao Hailong. Money's settled. But he still needs something meaty for his sister. Linda headed deeper, carrying the yams. Walked for about a mile. Suddenly stopped. On thermal, there was a burning red glow in the bush up ahead. About 10 meters on the right. That was a live animal. He squinted and saw the shape. Round and fat. It was a plump bamboo partridge. Bamboo partridge is so tender. Best cooked in soup. Their feathers blend in with dead leaves. Even hunters with no dogs can't find them. But with thermal vision, the partridge glows like a light bulb at night. Lin Yi didn't jump in right away. They're quick and sharp. Even the slightest noise, they'll fly off. He set down the yams, grabbed a thin vine, and made a slipknot noose. Found a springy bamboo stick, bent it down and built a trigger with a short stick. Hung the noose on, and set it at the left gap in the bush. 1 step on the trigger, the bamboo snaps up, and the noose pulls tight. Trap ready. Time to drive the partridge in. Lin Yi touched the calm bamboo pit viper coiled around his wrist, and sent it around too. The right to drive the bird left. The bamboo viper flicked its tongue, slid down his pants leg, and silently crept into the bush. Snakes are cold-blooded. They don't show up on thermal. The partridge had no clue that death was right behind it. The pit viper came up half a meter behind the bird, suddenly reared up, bared its fangs, and hissed loudly. The partridge was napping, turned and looked back. Feathers puffed up in terror, and scrambled for the left gap. Snap. It stepped right on the trigger. The bamboo whipped straight up, whistling through the air, and the noose yanked tight, grabbing its right leg. The 3-pound bamboo partridge dangled upside down, flapping desperately. Linda walked over, grabbed it by the neck, and squeezed. The partridge twitched, then went limp. He tied it up tight with vines, lifted it and said, "Nice and fat. We'll have chicken soup tonight." With 20 pounds of yam on his back, and a fat partridge in hand, he headed home. Thanks to thermal vision, he avoided snakes in the branches and boar dens, made it home safe. As soon as he pushed open the gate, he heard his sister coughing weakly. He left the yams in the yard, and took the chicken into the kitchen, boiled water, plucked the bird, gutted it, and moved fast. Cleaned up everything, picked a small yam, chopped it up and started the fire, added the chicken and yam to the pot, poured in water and covered it. Soon enough, the pot was steaming. The meat and yam smelled amazing. Lying in bed, Lin Xiaoya smelled it, and her stomach rumbled even louder once the meat was tender. Linda ladled a big bowl and brought it to her bedside. Linda said, "Hey, little one, get up and have some soup." Lin Xiaoya struggled to sit up, staring at the golden broth and the tender white meat. She swallowed a big mouthful of drool. Her eyes turned red. Lin Xiaoya asked, "Brother, where'd you get the chicken? Didn't we run out of money?" Linda said, "Caught it in the mountain. Your brother's got skills now." He blew on the soup, scooped up meat and fed her. Sighed, "Eat up, so you get better. Tomorrow I'll sell the yam in town and repay Zhao Hailong's debt. After that, we'll eat meat every day." Lin Xiaoya gulped down the soup. Tears kept rolling down. He hasn't had a full meal in months. It's been months since he tasted meat this good. After a big bowl of hot soup, some color came back to his face. Sweat beaded on his forehead. He felt a lot better. He watched his sister fall asleep after eating. She was still smiling in her sleep. Linda went outside with his empty bowl. The night wind blew past. Beastly howls echoed through the mountains. Lin sat on a wooden stool in the main room. He stayed up, clutching a rusty hatchet. Yesterday, he drove off Xiao Hailong's debt collectors. This isn't over yet? Xiao Hailong has been a bully in town for years. He's got thugs under him. And he's got guns. Fists alone. Don't scare Linda. But his sick little sister is behind him. A head-on fight isn't an option. He needs something for protection. He got up and went to the backyard, picked out 2 thick sun-dried bamboo poles. Old, hard, and tough bamboo. Back inside, he scraped off the rust from his hatchet. With one chop, The bamboo split open. Following the grain, he split the bamboo into strips 2 fingers wide, lit a charcoal fire, put the strips over the flame to roast. As oil seeped out, he bent both ends of the strips toward the middle while hot, curving them. With the heat, the bamboo took shape, making it as tough as possible. He'd mastered survival and weapons in his past life, so skills like this were second nature. A bow alone isn't enough. A regular bamboo bow is too weak. It can't pierce thick clothes. Lin Yi found a hunk of hardwood, carved out 2 grooved wooden wheels, drilled holes at both ends of the bow, fixed the wheels on with wire, made a basic pulley setup. With this thing, pulling the bow is half the effort, but the force doubles when firing. It shoots really fast. The bowstring was braided from cowhide strips used for baskets, looped over the pulleys and pulled tight. Then he built a repeating trigger. He found a thick wooden plank, carved out the middle, and made an arrow box. Added thin bamboo as a spring, so the box could hold 5 arrows at once. Each time an arrow was shot, the bamboo strip would push the next one up, and pushing the leva let them fire in a row. He carved over 20 bamboo arrows, thin as chopsticks.
Heated the tips in the fire to harden and blacken them.
They'd leave a bloody hole if they struck flesh. By dawn, he'd finished a repeating bamboo crossbow over 1/2 meter long. Linda grabbed the crossbow and worked the pulley lever. The bowstring snapped tight with a click. It looked ancient and deadly. The writing was really close. Just as day broke, a cough came from inside. Zhaya came out rubbing her eyes. She froze at the wood shavings and strange contraption all over the floor. She asked if I was up all night. Yeah, I told her not to worry. Just made a little something for self-defense. He covered the crossbow with an old rag, picked up last night's leftover chicken soup, and told Zhaya to go lie down. He'd bring her some hot soup. Zhaya nodded obediently. She turned and walked back to the bed. Outside, dogs at the village entrance went berserk, barking madly. Right after, footsteps rushed closer. At least 20 people. Someone outside was calling for Lin the, "You little bastard. Get the hell out here." That grating voice rattled the paper windows. Lin Yi's eyes turned cold. He banged the bowl hard on the stove, walked to the window and peeked outside. Outside, a crowd surrounded the place. Tension filled the air. The leader was village bully Zhao Hailong, a bald, fat guy, in an open black leather jacket, showing his scar, and a face full of menace. He held a double-barreled shotgun. A gang of 20 or so thugs stood behind him, holding hoes, machetes, and iron pipes, all looking vicious. The tall, skinny guy whose arm got broken yesterday had his arm in a sling. He cursed it at the bamboo house through gritted teeth. A few early risers in the distance turned pale with fear. Old neighbor Wang sighed. What a shame. Zhao Hailong was ready to kill. Old lady Wang yanked him inside and slammed the door shut, bolted it tight. The whole village fell silent from fear. Only those thugs kept shouting. Zhao Hailong stepped forward, pointed his gun at the door, and called out Lin Li. Stop pretending you're dead in there. Pay your debts. Your dad borrowed 300 from me. With interest, that's now 1,000. And yesterday you hurt my brother. We're settling it all today. The tall guy snarled. Enough talk, boss Hey. If he doesn't have the money, just grab his sister and sell her off to pay the debt. The thugs jeered. Yeah, smash the door. Drag his sister out. The group moved closer. One kicked down the half-high bamboo fence. Crash, it all fell down. A big chunk of the fence collapsed. They stomped through the broken bamboo into the yard. Zhaya trembled in fear, grabbing Ling Yi's shirt tightly. She cried, Brother, they're after me. I'm scared. Lin Yi crouched down, holding her face, and calmly said, Kiddo, just look at me as long as I'm here. He assured her. No one will touch a hair on your head. He got up and walked to the table, pulled off the rag, grabbed the hardened bamboo arrows, and, click, 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 loaded 5 arrows into the box. The spring made a crisp sound. Footsteps closed in outside. Bang! Someone kicked the door hard. The bolt rattled. Someone shouted, You little brat. Open up, or I'll tear this dump apart. Bang, bang. The door pounding only got louder, making dust fall from the bamboo house. Lin Yi grabbed his crossbow and strode to the door. He didn't unbolt it, staying hidden behind the door. He took a deep breath. closed his eyes as a system message flashed in his mind. Snake skills activated. He opened his eyes. Lin Yi's black irises had changed. The pupils now thin, vertical slits, like a cold-blooded animal. The world lost its color, turning dark blue. Thermal snake vision switched on. Through the door, he saw where everyone was outside. Each movement a glowing red figure. Two red shapes pressed close by the entrance, swinging their arms to pound the door. The brightest heat was their hearts. A few steps back stood the brightest, fattest figure, holding a long, cold-looking object. That was the temperature of a metal gun barrel. No doubt that was Zhao Hailong with the gun. Hiding behind the leaders. By the window crouched three more red shapes, with two more sneaking around the right corner. These guys even know how to flank. Linda sneered. With thermal vision, they might as well be naked on the snow.
He raised his right arm,
Aimed the crossbow straight ahead. Finger on the trigger. The bowstring snaps. The door sound stops. Zhao Hailong shouted impatiently, "Damn, this door is solid. Move aside, I'll blast it open with a shot." In thermal vision, the fat red figure stepped forward, raised a long cold object. Now's the time. Lin yanked the bolt with his left hand. The wooden door swung wide open. Zhao Hailong was aiming his homemade gun. He just put his finger on the trigger. The sudden noise startled him. His fleshy face twitched hard, about to curse out loud. But the words got stuck in his throat, because he saw a strange-looking bamboo crossbow. Linda stood in the doorway, his eyes cold as an icy winter pit.
He didn't say a single word.
Didn't even blink? His finger pulled the wooden trigger. A deep muffled twang echoed, exploding in the yard. Alonzo's tense bowstring snapped back hard, unleashing terrifying force, all focused into a sharp bamboo dart. The dart was too fast to see. Sliced through the air, whistling right at Zhao Hailong. Zhao Hailong reflexively tried to fire, but in Lin Yi's thermal vision, his movement looked like slow motion. A crisp cracking sound. Wood splinters exploded instantly and shot deep into the wooden stock. The huge momentum split the iron-wrapped hardwood stock, blasting it into pieces. Sharp wooden splinters flew everywhere. Zhao Hailong let out a pig-like scream, both hands shaken till his palms split. Blood poured down his hands. The heavy homemade gun was ruined. It slipped and fell into the mud. Zhao Hailong clutched his bleeding hand, stumbled back several steps. Pain twisted his face up. He stared at the broken gun on the ground, his mind buzzing. Cold sweat broke out on his back. That was solid hardwood. Yet a single bamboo dart blew it to bits. If that hit a person's head, it'd explode like a watermelon. The two goons by the door finally reacted, shouted Boss, looking at Zhao Hailong's bloody hands. Their eyes almost popped out. Zhao Hailong yelled, "What are you idiots doing? Why are you all just standing there? Kill him for me. Finish him off. He's been bullying people in the village for years, always getting his way. Never taken a loss like this. If he can't handle this poor punk today, Zhao Hailong, how's he supposed to run things around here again?" Hearing the boss speak, all the thugs in the yard turned red-eyed. 3 crouched by the left window, 2 coming around the right wall, and 2 by the door. 7 of them total, wielding machetes, iron rods, hoe handles, all looking vicious, yelling as they charged at Linda. The 7 guys closing in from all sides, trapping Linda at the main door. If it were the old Lindy, he would have been beaten down by now, probably with several broken bones. But with his snake ray thermal vision, he saw every move the 7 attackers made. Nothing secret at all. The heat from their bodies clearly showed which direction they'd attack, how tense their muscles were, even which foot they'd move next. The first to rush in was a blonde punk, swinging a rusty machete. He went straight for Lin Yi's head. Blade whooshing, a hit would split his skull, guaranteed to break it open. Lin Yi didn't even dodge. He tossed the bamboo crossbow behind the door. Just as the blade almost touched his hair, Linda moved, his waist bent back sharply. No normal person could do that. His spine looked boneless, chest almost touching his thighs, curled up like a snake on a branch. The blonde punk missed, swung too hard, lost his balance, stumbled forward. Linda straightened up in a flash. His right hand shot out like lightning, grabbed Blonde's wrist. Before Blondo realized what happened, Linda squeezed hard, thumb digging into his joint, twisted the wrist the other way. Crack. A sickening joint pop. Blonde screamed in pain. The machete clanged to the ground. His right arm hung limp like a noodle, flopping down, shoulder completely dislocated. Linda didn't even look at him. Kicked Blonde in the gut. Blonde flew off like a trash bag, landing a couple meters away, hit the mud hard, clutching his arm, writhing in pain. Could barely breathe. The other 6 guys rushed over too. A big guy with a black face swung an iron rod, with a whistling sound, brought it down hard on Lin Yi's back. But Linda dodged like he had eyes on his back, twisted nimbly. The rod whiffed by his shirt. Using the spin's momentum, he grabbed Blackface's elbow with his left hand, held his shoulder with his right, twisted both arms in opposite directions. Crack. Another pop. Blackface's arm got wrenched off. Rod smashed down on his own foot, howling in pain. Then Linda moved like a deadly snake. Never punched or kicked. Never met these thugs head-on. Always went for the weakest joints. Wrists, elbows, shoulders, knees. Once he grabbed on, no matter how strong you are, or what weapon you held, your joint got dislocated next second. He was way too fast. So fast. None of them saw how he moved. Just a blur. A joint somewhere burst in pain. The yard was filled with a string of cracking joints like popcorn. And screams. Linda kicked the 3rd thug in the knee, dislocated it on the spot. He collapsed to his knees, crying and sniffling in pain. The 4th tried to grab Linda from behind. Linda ducked low, grabbed his thumb and yanked it out, then tossed him clean over his shoulder, dislocating his hip for good measure. In less than 2 minutes, the fight was completely over. The 7 thugs who just swore they'd kill Linda now were lying all over the yard, some clutching their arms, some were holding their legs, their faces pale with pain, sweating all over. All you heard were screams and groans. None of them could even stand up. Everyone's dislocated something. This isn't even a fight. It's a total one-sided beatdown. The yard suddenly got eerily quiet. Only the moans of those on the ground remained. Villagers hiding behind the fence, watching. All looked completely stunned. They all covered their mouths. No one dared to breathe. Who would have thought that Lin, always so quiet and honest, would act like a whole different person today? Alone, he took on Zhao Hailong's 7 toughest thugs and took them all out. Zhao Hailong just stood there, his legs shaking like crazy. He looked at his guys rolling on the ground, then at Linda, walking slowly toward him. He gulped nervously, cold sweat trickling down his fat face. Zhao Hailong's voice changed with fear. He started backing up, shouting at me to stay away. Sighed I'd injured all his guys. He'd call the cops on me. Linda walked right up to him, stopped in front of him, gave him an icy stare, staring like a snake watching its prey. That look made Zhao Hailong's scalp tingle. His legs went weak.
He nearly dropped to his knees.
But he still had his pride. Forced himself to say I owed his family money. It was all written down, even if I killed him today. A debt has to be repaid. Linda spoke quietly, but with a chilling edge. He asked, "Where's the IOU?" Zhao Hailong paused, thought Linda got scared, quickly patted his chest with his good hand, and pointed to his pocket, said it's right there. Before he finished, he yelped in pain. Didn't even finish his sentence. Linda suddenly grabbed his collar and yanked all 200 pounds of him forward. Zhao Hailong stumbled, fell right at Lin Yi's feet. Lin Yi didn't hold back, stepped right onto Zhao Hailong's back, crushing the air out of him. Then, Linda reached into Zhao Hailong's chest pocket, pulled out a neatly folded piece of paper. Linda unfolded it and glanced at it. It was the IOU. He let out a cold laugh, waved the IOU in Zhao Hailong's face. Sighed he borrowed $50. Owes 500 total after 1 month. Nice racket Zhao Hailong was running. Even loan sharks aren't that bad. Zhao Hailong was still lying on the ground, face pressed into the dirt, still talking tough. Said it's my dad's thumbprint on that paper. I can't deny it. Linda replied calmly, I'm not backing out. Zhao Hailong looked relieved, just about to say something, when Linda grabbed each side of the IOU, and with a rip, tore it right in half. Then a few more rips, the IOU with the red fingerprint, was shredded to tiny pieces by Linda. Zhao Hailong panicked, struggled to get up, asked what I was doing. How dare I tear up his IOU? Linda pressed down harder with his foot. With a thud, Zhao Hailong's face smashed back into the dirt. Ate a mouthful of mud. Linda flicked his hand. The shredded paper landed all over Zhao Hailong's face. Linda looked down and said coldly, I leave him the $50 even. My dad already gave him 2 baskets of wild goods back then. Starting today. Our family doesn't owe him a cent. Zhao Hailong tried to curse, shouted, You're full of crap. Lin Yi's eyes turned cold.
He slid his toe up Zhao Hailong's spine
And stepped right on the back of his neck. Just a bit more pressure from Lin Yi's foot. And Zhao Hailong's neck would snap just like those thugs' arms. It'd break in a second. Feeling the deadly threat on his neck, Zhao Hailong stopped cursing. A strong smell of urine came from his crotch. This bully who's been terrorizing the village for years actually pissed himself from fear. Linda pressed down a little more with his foot and asked, Do you get it now? Zhao Hailong howled at the top of his lungs. Sighed, he got it. He promised he no longer owed him anything. Not even a penny. He cried from fear. He shouted, Grandpa Lin, let me go. I'll never do it again. Linda lifted his foot and told him, Take your dogs and get lost. Zhao Hailong looked like he just escaped death. He scrambled up, rolling and crawling. He even left his broken homemade gun behind. To his injured men still moaning on the ground, he shouted, Stop moaning. Move now. The 7 thugs helped each other up. Some held up their dislocated arms. Some hopped on one leg. The whole group rolled and crawled out of Lin Yi's yard. The courtyard was quiet again. Behind the fence, villagers watching were all wide-eyed, their eyes and mouths open big enough for an egg. They looked at the messy group fleeing, then back at Lin, the standing in the yard, full of disbelief. That was Zhao Hailong after all. No one in the village dared mess with that bully. But Lindy alone took them out barehanded, and did it so completely. He even tore up their IOU. Now they won't dare come cause trouble. When did that neighbor kid get this tough? Facing all those villagers, Lin Yi didn't say a word. He knew in this place, talking sense was useless. Fists matter more. That's the real rule. Today's lesson was to show his strength. Only if the bullies are scared, they won't dare bully him or his sister again. Linda looked down and saw next to his foot was the machete the yellow-haired guy dropped. Its blade was chipped. With no expression, Linda raised his right foot and stomped hard on the blade. Crack. A clear snap of metal. That thick steel machete got crushed, split right in half under Lin Yu's foot. The broken tip shot away and stuck deep in the mud nearby, buzzing as it landed. Seeing this, people outside the fence gasped. Everyone's scalp tingled. He broke a steel machete with one stomp. Is that even human strength? After everyone left, Lin Yu pushed open the worn door and went in. The smell of bitter herbs flooded his nose. His younger sister, Lin Xiaoyu, was lying on the wooden bed in the back room, covered with a patched thin quilt, her face burning red, her lips cracked and dry. She panted heavily, rasping. Linda reached out and touched her forehead. Burning to the touch, Dr. Old Li stopped by.
He said her sickness hurt her lungs.
The village herbs won't help. She needs imported medicine from the county hospital, or else won't make it. But a round of that medicine costs hundreds. Back in 1988, hundreds of yuan. To a poor rural family with not enough cornmeal. Might as well be a fortune. The old Lin, could only worry at the doorstep. But now things are different. He tucked his sister in, then went to the wooden chest in the corner and got his late dad's machete, sharpened it till it gleamed.
He packed up half a jug of water,
2 hard buns and a coil of rope. He's got a way to get the money. In the Shiwanda Mountains, there's a kind of golden lingi mushroom. Local herb stations even have signs up. A good one sells for 1,000 each. Find one. And that'll cover his sister's medical bills. But that place is a forbidden zone. Even old hunters stay away, full of snakes and wild beasts. And killer swamps, poisonous gas. 9 out of 10 who go in die. Linda strapped the machete on his back, tightened his leggings and headed in. The forest was so thick, not a ray got through. It stank of rotten leaves, hot and stuffy. less than a mile in.
His back was soaked, clothes stuck to his body.
He didn't follow the usual hunter trails. He went straight into the wild woods, cutting straight toward the core, the Ghost Howl Valley. That place never sees sunlight. Perfect for golden lingi. He pushed aside man-tall banana leaves and waded through the mud. Stumbling forward, he thought for a second, switched on the thermal vision the system gave him. Now the green forest turned gray in his eyes, with patches of red and blue lights popping up. 5 meters left, a red spot in a bush. It's a field mouse. Above to the right, a thin red line coiled. Linyi looked up. A bright green bamboo pit viper was hiding in the leaves, flicking its tongue. Without thermal vision, he'd never find that with his eyes. He avoided the snake and moved on. With this skill, he's got radar now. Can dodge wild animals and save his strength. It got quieter the deeper in he went. Not even birds chirped, just the crunch of branches under his feet. A few blood-sucking leeches dropped on his neck. He didn't even look back, just grabbed a leech and yanked it off, crushed it with his hand and tossed it. After a long walk, the ground dipped ahead. A huge canyon blocked the way. All around were mossy, steep cliffs. A layer of white mist floated above the valley floor. This was Ghost Howl Valley. Linda found a thick vine, tied it around his waist, tied the other end to a tree, and slid down the rock face. The rocks were slippery as oil. One slip meant death. He made it down. The fog got thicker. Couldn't see 10 steps ahead.
He gripped his machete tight.
And slowed down, eyes wide open, looking for golden lingi and rocks and rotten wood. 200 meters ahead, a low growl came from the woods. Soft but sharp, not a wolf or a boar. Sounded more like a dull saw, cutting wood, full of aggression. Linda instantly froze. He ducked behind a big tree, crouched down, cranked up thermal vision all the way, piercing the thick mist. Behind a stone, 30 meters ahead, a massive glowing red heat spot. Something big thrashing and rolling around hard. Growling in anger, Linyi swallowed, tightened his grip on the machete, and crept forward along the tree. He peeked around the stone. On the open ground lay a huge wildcat, over a meter long, its tail as long as its body, its fur covered in big, cloudy black spots. Strong limbs, muscles tense, a fully grown clouded leopard, the deadliest beast in these mountains. But this one was in bad shape. Its right front leg, caught in a rusty, heavy iron trap. The jaws bitten deep, metal cut into flesh, blood dripping down, soaked a patch of mud red. The leopard screamed in pain, trying to bite off the trap, its teeth scraping metal, making a harsh screech. The harder it struggled, the deeper it cut. Even bare bones showed. Hearing footsteps, the leopard jerked its head over. Its pupils squinted to a line, stared at Linda, huffing, back arched, fur on end, showing its fangs, growling in warning. Even with a heavy trap on him, his hind muscles stayed tight, ready to pounce and tear. Linda stands his ground. He knows the score. A cornered beast is deadly. Even with a broken leg, it can snap a neck in seconds. In a fair fight, he'd get hurt even with a blade. But he won't kill it. Looking at its bloodshot eyes, his mind races. System tamed the snake. Will it work on this cat? If he can tame this beast, he'll have an unbeatable guard. Finding herbs would be easy. The leopard claws the dirt, crouching low, ready to strike. Lin takes a deep breath, holsters his machete, and raises his hands. He tries to calm it via system. The cat starts to jump, but suddenly freezes. Its growls quiet down. The killing intent fades. It looks confused, but 3 seconds later, it jerks its hind leg. The trap's teeth scrape bone. The sharp pain makes it shiver. The killer look returns. It digs its claws into the mud. Staying low, ready for a final fight, Lin stops moving, squinting at the trap. The steel trap is 30 pounds. Rusty teeth bite into the leg. Blood drips from the metal. The spring is too strong to pry open by hand. Pulling it hard would drive the cat mad. It would snap his neck. He has to numb the pain. Staring at the leopard, he backs off 5 meters, then searches the bush. Mountains have many herbs. He finds some purple leaf vines. Hunters call it bone vine. Low toxicity, but strong anesthetic. Crushed, it can drop a boar. Lin pulls off 2 handfuls, puts them on a stone, and smashes them with his blade. Green sap oozes out, smelling bitter and sharp.
He cuts a thick wooden stick.
Sharpens one end, and coats it with the mash. Holding the drugged stick, he approaches the leopard again. Seeing him return, it claws the ground and hisses, showing its sharp teeth. A deep growl rumbles. It's about to bite. Lin stays calm. System's soothing signal is on. He moves closer step by step. Just as it pounces, Lin sees his chance, thrusts the stick forward, and jams it in its mouth. Bite! Lin barks. It bites down instinctively. Teeth sink into the drugged wood. The juice flows down its throat. While it's biting, Lin ducks down and smears the rest on the wound. The leopard twitches in pain, swiping its front claws at Lin Yi's face. Lin dodges to the side, pinning its body down. System's pressure skill slams right down. The leopard freezes, pinned firmly to the ground. 2 minutes later, the drug kicks in. Its struggling weakens. Its eyes glaze over. Its breathing gets heavy. Growls turn into whimpers. The pain is suppressed. Time to move fast. Lin gets up, puts a large rock under the trap. He finds a thick, sturdy branch, slides it through the ring, and braces it against the rock. It's a perfect lever. Lin grabs the other end, takes a deep breath, and puts his weight on it. The rusty spring creaks, making a harsh grinding noise. The trap is too tight. Lin grits his teeth, his face turning red. Veins bulge on his arms, muscles hard as iron. Open up! Lin roars. He pushes again. The branch bends into an arc, ready to snap. The teeth finally pry open. The cat shivers from the pain, almost snapping the stick. The gap is just wide enough. With his left hand, Lin grabs the leopard's leg and pulls it out fast. Asterisk clang, asterisk. The branch snaps. The iron teeth slam together. Sparks fly everywhere. As soon as its leg is free, pain and shock wake the beast. Even with a bad leg, it flips up using its core. Mouth open, a wild scent hits. It lunges for Lin's throat. It's too close to dodge, so he doesn't. He stares into its eyes. Pressure and tame commands. Hit it like a sledgehammer. The cat is stunned. It's struck like lightning. Its movement stops mid-air. It falls and rolls on the ground, getting up to shake its head. The wild killing intent is gone. It limps over to Linda, bows its head, and rubs his leg like a cat. A ding sounds in his head. Top predator tamed. Clouded leopard loyalty, 100%. Receiving ability feedback. Extreme agility, dynamic balance. As the voice fades, warmth surges up his spine, flowing through his body. His joints crack and pop. His muscles feel hot. He cracks his neck, feeling light as a feather. Everything around him slows down. This is extreme agility. He looks at a 10-foot rock, covered in moss nearby. Before, it would be a struggle. He takes 2 steps back, takes a deep breath, and kicks off hard. Asterisk whoosh! He's like a coiled spring. He taps the rock face, leaps again, and lands right on top. He doesn't even stumble, steady as a statue. This is dynamic balance, finding center on any terrain. No more tripping. Linda grins from the rock. With these skills, he can go anywhere. He jumps down, landing perfectly. He tears his shirt, a strip from the hem, to wrap the leopard's wound. The cat stays calm, not pulling away. It licks the back of his hand. Man and leopard head for the lingy area. Trees get denser as they go. The ground is full of rot, feeling soft underfoot. It's hot like a steamer. Bugs are buzzing everywhere. The leopard leads the way. It moves gracefully despite injury, not making a sound. Lin follows with his machete. Soon the woods clear out. The light gets brighter. Blocking the path is a 100-foot cliff. Water seeps from the cracks, slick with green moss. The leopard stops, chirping at the cliffside. Lin Yi looks up. Near the top of the wall, an old pine tree grows. A huge fungus sits in a crack, deep red all over, with a bright gold edge. It's the golden lingi. Lin Yi's eyes light up. Rare stuff for 1988. Workers only make 40 a month. Selling this to an expert could bring in thousands. Sister's medical bills, and a brick house in town. It's all right there. Getting it isn't so easy. The cliff is super steep. There's nowhere to put your feet. If a regular person tried climbing up, one slip and you'd become roadkill. But Linde is not an ordinary person now. He turned and pointed at the bush nearby. He lowered his voice, told the clouded leopard to hide inside. Don't run off. He took a deep breath, getting ready to climb up and grab the stuff. The leopard flicked its tail, slipped into the grass, lay flat while Linde walked to the base of the cliff. He loosened his wrists and ankles, stared hard at the old pine up above, quickly planned the climbing route in his mind. He bent his knees sharply, thighs tightened up. With a burst of power, he jumped straight up. Extreme agility kicked in. He shot up over 2 meters, reached both hands forward, pointed his index fingers at a hook, grabbed the crack in the cliff rock hard. Back in the day, if he hung like this, he'd have fallen right away. He would have dislocated his shoulders. But now his balance was on point.
He felt his back muscles adjust the angle automatically.
All his weight spread out to his hands, and the tips of his toes pressed tight against the stone. Steady as can be. Didn't even wobble. He grinned, climbed up using hands and feet, scooted up along the rock wall. Left hand grabbed a stone sticking out, right foot braced on a dry tree root. Each move was perfectly precise, every time things got risky. He found the best foothold. He climbed up over 10 meters high. Right then, the rock under his feet came loose. There was a cracking sound. Pebbles tumbled down the cliff. Linde's right foot slipped. His body dropped suddenly. Anyone else would have fallen by now. But his body acted faster than his brain. The moment he slipped, his left leg kicked hard against the rock. He twisted around in midair using the force, reached his right hand upward, and grabbed a thick vine above. The move was super smooth, didn't waste even a second. Linde exhaled. Man, that was close. He kept climbing up. The higher up he went, the wind got stronger. His clothes flapped loudly. But sticking to the rock, he was steady.
He soon reached the old pine tree,
Swung himself on top of the thick trunk, clutched the tree with both legs, freed his hands, and carefully picked the golden ganoderma. Up close, it looked even better. Its surface was shiny, had an earthy medicinal scent. He pulled out his machete, moved extra gently, slowly cleared the dirt and stones around the root. This thing is worth a fortune. If you damage the edges, the price drops. After over 10 minutes, he dug out the whole golden ganoderma intact. He took off his jacket, wrapped the ganoderma with care, and tied it tight in front of his chest. He had what he came for. Just as he turned to climb down, he heard a snap from below. Sounded like a branch being stepped on. Linde froze, lying flat on the pine trunk, not moving at all. Peered through the gaps in the pine needles, squinted down toward the bottom of the valley.
He saw.
Some tall grass nearby was being ripped open. 3 figures appeared, one after the other from the woods. Linde's expression changed. These 3 definitely weren't local hunters. When villagers come up the mountain, they wear racks and homemade shoes, and carry homemade pipe guns. But these 3 all had army green canvas jackets and high-top liberation sneakers. Their pants were tied tight at the ankles. No doubt they're pro at mountain work. Worst of all, look what they're carrying. 2 of them had long double-barreled shotguns. The gun barrels were pitch black and shiny. These take big lead slugs. One shot will blow a wild boar's head clean off. The one in front was bald, short but really built. A centipede-shaped scar on his neck ran to his collar. He didn't have a gun, just a huge half-meter machete. The blade was smeared with wet dirt. These guys are pro poachers. In the 80s, the 10,000 Mountains were a lawless land. Just for valuable pelts, these people would do anything. If they ran into villagers, they'd kill them to cover their tracks. Shoot and dump the bodies in the ravine. No one would ever find the remains. Linde held his breath, pressed flat against the trunk, over 30 meters above ground. If they spotted him hanging there,
he'd have nowhere to dodge the bullets.
The 3 men stopped at the foot of the cliff. A skinny guy with a sharp face squatted and said, "Blood trail ends here." He wiped a fallen leaf with his finger, sniffed it under his nose. The bald guy walked up to look. His voice was gravelly.
He said, "That beast got hit by my shot. Can't run far."
The blood's still warm. It's gotta be close by. The fat one clutched his shotgun, on guard. Sweeping his eyes over the bush, he cursed. That clouded leopard pelt's top-notch. The city boss is paying big. If it gets away, our 2 weeks here were a waste. The bald one snorted. Shut up. He searched carefully, poking the grass with his machete. Lin Yi could hear everything from the tree. He felt a jolt. So they're here for the clouded leopard. The leopard's wound. They're the ones who shot it. That leopard was hiding in a bush just 5 meters from the bald guy. It smelled its enemies and made a low growl. Its muscles tensed up, body pressed as low as possible, ready to jump out and fight for its life. Lin started sweating. The clouded leopard was fierce, but it was shot. And they have guns. If it even poked its head out, it'd get blasted for sure. He needed a way to distract them. Lin scanned the area, his eyes locked on a thick vine 2 meters from the pine. It hung from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the valley, thicker than an arm. As long as he jumped and grabbed it, he could swing straight down, catching them off guard. He calculated the distance and force needed. The bald guy stopped walking. He didn't head for the bush. He turned and stared right at the base of the cliff. He saw a patch of moss Lin scraped off when he jumped. Fresh marks were exposed. The bald guy squinted. A muscle twitched on his face. This guy had plenty of experience. The marks from animal claws looked totally different from shoe prints. Someone just climbed this cliff. He didn't say anything. Didn't even warn his buddies. He just gripped his machete tight, slowly traced the messed up moss and dirt, lifting his gaze bit by bit. His eyes followed the cliff face 1,020 meters up. Finally, he locked onto Lin in midair. Up in the dead pine, the bald guy spotted Lin on the stone wall.
He smirked and lifted his gun.
Lin didn't hesitate for half a second. His legs kicked sharply off the pine trunk. The gunshot echoed through the valley. A spray of lead pellets fanned out, smashing the dead branch Lin just crouched on. Wood chips and needles flew everywhere. But Lin was already gone. Just before the gun fired, he launched himself like a leopard and dove for the big vine 2 meters away.
His top-tier agility burst out from taming the leopard.
He felt almost weightless. Midair, he twisted his waist hard, grabbed on with both hands, and gripped the bristly vine tight. The rough bark tore his palms open. But he didn't even care. Using his falling weight, he treated the ancient vine like a swing, arcing through the air in a big curve, shooting straight at the bald guy below. The bald guy missed his shot and was fumbling to reload. He heard wind above his head, looked up on instinct, and what he saw was Lin Yi's mud-caked army shoes coming down.
Bam!
His foot slammed right into the bald guy's face. Backed by all that momentum from the swing, the impact was massive. The bald guy didn't even make a sound. His nose cracked on the spot. He flew off like a rag doll, slammed hard into the rocks. His eyes rolled back, and he blacked out completely. His shotgun flew far away, fell into the bush. The other 2 guys looked around, heard something, turned and saw their boss, who got kicked through the air by Lin, dropping from above. They turned pale with fright. The skinny guy screamed, "Ghost!" dropped his machete, spun around and dove into the woods. The fat guy reacted a beat late, saw his buddy running, then rolled and scrambled after him, too scared to even pick up his flashlight. Lin landed steadily, bent his legs to absorb.
The impact.
Moved so lightly it was nothing like a guy over 100 pounds. He didn't bother chasing those 2 thugs. These mountains are complicated. Chasing those terrified guys would just waste energy. Lin strode up to the bald guy, kicked the hunting rifle aside. Baldy's face was covered in blood, laying there not moving at all. Lin pulled off the guy's belt and took off his shoelaces, tied his arms behind his back, and fastened him to a big tree. Still not feeling safe after tying him, he grabbed a thick branch and shoved it in his mouth, and tied it tight with a rag. These poachers are all desperate guys. When he wakes up, if he screams, that's trouble. I'll just leave him here, go report it at the town later. Let the cops deal with him. Threat handled. Lin Yi looked up at the rock wall. The mother clouded leopard lay in a crevice, watching him carefully. Linda didn't bother her. Walked to the base of the rock wall, used both hands and feet, and climbed up quick like a gecko. With his extreme agility, this steep cliff was a breeze for him, as easy as walking on flat ground. In under 2 minutes, he climbed up to the blood ganoderma. Up close, this thing was deep red all over, delicate rings on the cap, smelled intensely medical. Linda took a rag out of his pocket, Used a knife to gently cut at the base. Picked the whole blood ganoderma clean.
He wrapped it up carefully.
And tucked it close to his chest. Hurried back down the same path. His little sister Lin Xiaoyaya still had a high fever at home. This was their lifeline. Couldn't waste a second. 2 hours later, Lin exited the big mountain. Arrived at the town. Back in the late 80s town streets. Low brick houses and dirt roads everywhere. Potholes all over. A few tractors rattled by, kicking up yellow dust. Faded slogans taped to the power poles. People in green army and blue work uniforms, riding big bikes back and forth. Lin wasn't in the mood for scenery. Went by memory. Headed straight for the state-owned specialty store at the East End. Only place in town that could buy rare herbs. The place reeked of medicinal herbs. Behind the counter was a guy with slicked back hair, white shirt, middle-aged, drinking from an enamel mug. That was Wang Fugui. The greedy store manager everyone knew. Lin walked right up, put his rag bundle on the counter, opened it up layer by layer. The dark red blood ganoderma showed itself. Medicine aroma spread instantly. Wang Fugui's droopy eyes went wide open. Put down his mug. Leaned in, throat bobbing as he stared. But he quickly hid his greed. Faked a frown. Poked at the edges with 2 fingers, annoyed. Wang snorted. What the heck is this mushroom? Looked down on Linna. All muddy and ragged. While the color's quite red. Probably just from some rotten log. Probably just a poisonous mushroom. Kid, this is a real buying station. We don't take random wild stuff like this. Linda sneered. Braced both hands on the glass counter. Stared Wang Fugui down. Lin, said manager Wang. Come on, that's not cool. You think I'm some clueless peasant? Lin tapped the cap. Some fine dark red powder got on his fingertip. He said, look closely. This is pure wild blood ganoderma. See how thick the cap is? Check the ring patterns underneath. This is at least 50 years old. And this spore powder, so dark it's almost purple. And you call this poison? From rotten wood? Wang Fugui's face changed. Still wouldn't give in. You don't know squat. I say it's regular mushrooms. So it is. But you came a long way, so I'll give you something for the trouble. 20 yuan, leave the stuff.
Take off now.
20 yuan could buy plenty of rice and noodles in 88. But a 50-year-old wild blood ganoderma, that's daylight robbery. In the city pharmacy, it's worth at least hundreds. Lin Yi didn't argue. Grabbed the rag to wrap it up. Sad, you can keep your 20 yuan. Buy yourself a coffin. I'm not selling. Wang Fugui panicked. Grabbed Lin Yi's hand. Flesh on his face trembling.
He said, kid.
Don't be stupid. In this town, except for me, who else can buy your crap? If you walk out now, it's just gonna rot in your hands. Lin Yi's eyes turned cold. He twisted Wang Fugui's wrist. Suddenly added pressure. Wang Fugui screamed like a pig. His body slid onto the counter. Wang cried, oh, 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 oh. Let go! How dare you make trouble at a state store? Believe I won't call the cops? Lin Yi didn't ease up. Voice icy.
He said, go ahead.
Buying cheap and selling high. Ripping people off. Let's see who the cops take. Just then, the store curtain lifted. A crisp female voice cut in. She said, if you won't sell, I will let go of Wang's hand. And turned around. A young woman walked in, wearing a sharp green uniform. No hat. Short bobbed hair. She looked super capable. Pale skin, delicate features. But her eyes stood out most. Full of bold energy. A military medical kit with a red cross hung on her shoulder. She strode right up. Didn't even look at Wang Fugui rubbing his wrist. Eyes went straight to the blood ganoderma. Picked it up. Checked the cap and underside. Then sniffed it. She said it's perfect quality. Dense flesh. At least 60 years old. Wild and top grade. Great for stopping bleeding and healing. And it boosting strength. It's a real gem. Then she turned and shot Wang a cold look. She said, Manager Wang, 60-year blood ganoderma and you offer 20? That's some lowballing skill. Should I bring this up with the authorities? Next time I go to the Commerce Bureau? Wang's face went stiff. Sweat popped out on his forehead. He started sweating bullets.
He stuttered, no, Dr. Su.
You misunderstood. I was just joking with this young man. Didn't recognize it at first, that's all. Wang wiped his sweat, grinning awkwardly, not daring to utter a word. Dr. Su ignored him, turned right to Limna. She said, their research team needs this blood ganoderma. She paid top price. She opened her medical satchel and pulled out a thick stack of crisp cash, counted 50 notes in front of Wang, slapped them on the counter. Dr. Su asked, 500 yuan. That's a fair deal, even in the provincial capital. How's that sound? Lin Yi stared at the 500 on the counter. His heart skipped a beat. In the 80s, when salaries were in the tens, that was a ton of money. With this money, he could clear the village bullies' debt. And help his sister too. Better days ahead. But he's coming down today. Not just for the money. Linda spoke of the money. He pocketed it safely. Then looked at Dr. Su. But he still needed medicine.
His sister has a high fever.
A lung infection. Regular meds won't work. He needs the best antibiotics. Ideally, imported ones. Hearing this, Dr. Su sized up Linda again, though in ragged clothes, stained with mud and blood. He spoke with logic, facing $500. He didn't even blink. What's more, he had a wild, rugged aura. His moves earlier were lightning fast. Dr. Su said, acute lung infection. Wait, and it's pneumonia. That is dangerous. Dr. Su didn't hesitate. He opened his medical kit, pulled out 2 white bottles. He said it was team supply. Strong antibiotics and fever meds. Great for severe infections. Told Linda to take them. 1 pill of each. Twice a day. Fever's gone in 3 days. Linda took the bottles, clutching them tightly. These were lifesavers. Lin Yi said thanks, nodded, and turned to go. Dr. Su called him back. Wait. Linda stopped. Su packed the blood lingi. Staring at Linda, Dr. Su said, keep the medicine. Keep the money too. Asked him to be their guide. Linda agreed to be the guide. He gripped the bottles, staring back at Dr. Su. Tone flat. He had 2 conditions. Dr. Su nodded. Name them, he said. Lin, the said first.
He must take his sister down.
To the town's health clinic. Fees and nutrition. You guys have to cover it. Dr. Su said. Done. We have the funds. I'll pay for it, Linda said second. Pointed at Su's military pack. I want a full set of gear. Machete, pack, boots, rope. You guys must have plenty of it. Dr. Su smiled. If you get us safely into the Shiwan core area, take whatever you want, Linda said. Deal. Ran home without another word. Back at the hut, he poured warm water, gave his sister the medicine. Li Xia swallowed them. The imported meds worked. In less than 2 hours, the burning fever broke. Her breathing grew steady. Linda didn't delay, wrapped her in thick clothes, put her on his back, and headed to town. At the town clinic, smelling of disinfectant, Lin Yu went to the window, slapped down 200 yuan, paid the deposit. The doctor saw the cash and changed his attitude, arranged a private room, put her on a 4 drip. Seeing her color return, Linda let out a long sigh. Past life, she lacked treatment, leaving her permanently disabled. This time,
He fixed his biggest regret.
Linda said, Shaxia, stay here and recover. I have things to do. I'll be back in a few days. Linda stroked her hair. She nodded obediently. Brother, please be careful. With her settled, a weight lifted off his heart. Now he could focus on exploring the Shiwan Mountains. Early the next morning, at the forest clearing, 3 green jeeps sat. Men in camo moved gear, setting up canvas tents. This was the camp. Lindy in his old clothes, with worn-out shoes, hands in his pockets, walked over slowly. Dr. Su was sharp-eyed, saw Linda approaching, and waved him over. Today, Dr. Su wore tactical field gear, hair in a ponytail, looking very sharp. Linda looked around. The camp gear was top-notch. Tents, lights, generators. On a long table, rows of new survival tools. Just then, a rough voice spoke up. This is the guide? A man nearly 1.9 meters tall, covered in muscle, stretching his camo suit. He walked over. He had a crew cut, a scar on his face, chewing on a root.
He sized up Limna.
Full of disdain, Su said, Captain Zhang, let me introduce you. This is Linda, a local. He knows these mountains well. Zhang sneered, spat out the root. Doctor, are you kidding me? Where we're going? is the heart of the range. It's a total dead zone. Snakes and bugs everywhere. Boars and bears all over. You pick this farm, kid. To lead, behind Zhang. Burly guards followed.
Hearing this,
They all burst out laughing. A guard said, "Yeah, this kid looks like a monkey. Forget wild beasts. 2 days on the trail. We'll probably kill him. We're on a mission, not babysitting. If we hit danger, we'll have to rescue him. He's just dead weight." Facing the mockery, Lin Yi didn't even blink. He ignored Zhang. Walked to the gear table. A black machete sat there. Lin Yi picked it up, checked its weight, then felt the edge. Linda nodded. Good steel, high carbon. Front heavy. Perfect for clearing brush. He looked satisfied. Then he took paracord, gave it a hard tug. Strong enough. Good for making traps. Zhang saw he was ignored. His face darkened. He was tough. Everyone usually respected him.
today,
A mountain kid ignored him. Zhang roared, "Kid, are you fucking deaf? I'm talking to you." Zhang stepped forward, reached out a huge hand, and grabbed for his collar. Dr. Su was startled, trying to stop him. "Zhang, don't." But Zhang was fast. His hand swiped at him. Just as his hand was about to touch him, Linda moved. Agility of the leopard activated. Linda, like a real predator, twisted at a sharp angle. He was too fast. So fast that no one could see his move. Left hand holding rope, right hand holding the blade. Asterisk swish, asterisk. With a flick, the rope became a blur, forming a slip knot instantly. Then a flick of his wrist. The knot flew to Zhang's feet. Captain Zhang charges forward. His foot lands right into the loop of the rope. Linda yanks the rope hard with his left hand. The loop tightens. It clamps down on Captain Zhang's ankle. Meanwhile, Lin Yi's right foot kicks hard next to the table. There's a box full of metal parts. Lin Yi's right foot kicks hard by the table. On the heavy equipment box, packed with metal parts. The box was already at the edge of the table. Lin Yi's kick makes it roll and tumble down. The other end of the paracord was already wrapped in less than half a second by Linda, over a thick branch overhead, then securely tied to the box's handle.
bang!
The heavy equipment box crashes on the ground. A huge force as it drops instantly transmits through the paracord. Ouch! Captain Zhang has no idea what's happening yet. He just feels a huge pull at his ankle. This guy weighs almost 220 pounds. But a force yanks him right off his feet, his whole body flipping headfirst. And he's left dangling upside down in midair. It all happened so fast. From reaching out to being hung off a tree. The whole thing took no more than 5 seconds. The nearby security guards are stunned. They all yell angrily, reaching for their batons and knives at their waists. As they're about to rush over, Linda waves his right hand. Whoosh! A dark object flies out from his hand, with a sharp slicing sound. It heads straight for Captain Zhang hanging on the tree. Thud. The blade buries deep into the trunk. That black machete stabbed hard right next to Captain Zhang's face. In the tree, barely 2 centimeters away, the blade shakes from the force, buzzing loudly. The cold blade is right by Captain Zhang's nose. If it had been off by just a bit, the knife would have chopped half his head. Total silence. All the guards are frozen, hands still on their weapons, stopped in midair. No one even dared to breathe. Captain Zhang hangs upside down, his face flushed bright red. Sweat drips off his forehead down his cheeks. He stares wide-eyed at the blade nearly touching his face, swallows hard, too scared to speak, too ruthless, too fast. These trained security guys always thought they were tough, but compared to Lin Yi's smooth moves, they're just like kids learning to walk. In 5 seconds, using what was nearby. Just a rope and a heavy object. He set up a perfect deadly trap in an instant. And every move, every bit of strength, was spot on, no mistakes at all. There's no way a random countryside kid could pull this off. He's the real deal. Someone who survived wild forests. Dr. Su stands aside, eyes wide open, his face full of shock. He knew Linda was skilled. He saw it yesterday back in the village with Wang Fugui. It was obvious then. But he never expected Linda to be this strong. Facing a pro-security captain with top gear, Lin Yi didn't even break a sweat, just took him down instantly. Lin the brushes dust off his hands. Walks under the tree. He looks up at Captain Zhang hanging upside down. Speaks quietly like he's discussing the weather. Lin says, "In the 10,000 mountains, the dead don't even get to speak. If you did this in the woods, you'd already be a corpse." After speaking, Lin pulls out the machete from the tree. As soon as the blade leaves, Captain Zhang shivers with fear. Lin quickly cuts the paracord.
Thud!
Captain Zhang crashes hard onto the ground. Stars spin in his eyes from the impact. The security guards rush over, helping him up. Captain Zhang looks furious. Looks at Lin then at the snapped paracord. He opens his mouth to say something tough, but shuts his mouth in the end. Couldn't beat him. Saying more would be embarrassing. Lin ignores them, turns and walks to the equipment table. He takes off his old busted shoes, puts on brand new high-top tactical boots. The soles are thick and grip well, super strong traction, and they're really comfortable. Then he pulls on a multi-purpose tactical vest, turns a few spare mag pouches into pockets for herbs and small tools, puts the machete into the sheath at his thigh, and snaps it shut. Finally, Lin shoulders a tactical backpack, filled with medical supplies, food, and ropes. He adjusts the straps, completely transforms. The shabby country kid is gone, replaced by hunter radiating danger from head to toe. Lin turns around, looks over everyone present. He speaks up calmly, asking if anyone still thinks he's a burden. Now's the time to step forward. The area goes quiet. The security guys all keep their mouths shut. Lin in full gear leads the team into the 10,000 mountains. The deeper they go, the darker the forest gets. Leaves block all light. Old leaves underfoot ooze black water with every step. The air smells musty. Lin walks in front with his new boots, hacking left and right with the machete, making a path through the tall grass. Captain Zhang and the guards follow behind. Army medic Su Qingyu and the researchers walk in the middle. They hike for over an hour. The terrain slopes down. Ahead is a huge pit like a giant cauldron. Lin stops sharply, raises his right fist to signal a stop. His instincts say something's wrong ahead. Not even a bug is making a noise in the pit. The silence is chilling. Zhang's subordinate, Daliu, asks why Lin stopped. He can't stop himself and slides down the slope. Says the spot's big enough. Perfect to take a break. Daliu keeps talking as he walks down about 10 meters. Lin Yi quickly shouts, "Don't go down." Too late. Daliu just reaches the bottom. His body freezes up, not even making a sound. Legs go limp. Collapses face first in the rotting leaves, not moving. Guard Zhao Zhao panics. Shouts out. Daliu rushes down to help him. But right as he bends over, before even touching Ye Liu's clothes, his eyes roll back. He drops to the ground too, like a pile of mud. People in the back freak out. Captain Zhang, eyes red, curses, and tries to charge down. Lin reacts fast, grabs his tactical vest, yanks him back, and shoves him behind. Lin yells, "Are you crazy? That's a gas pit. Locals call it Silent Valley. You go down, you die." Su Qingyu peers at the slope. Her face turns pale and says it's high concentration CO2 buildup. Zhu Qingyu's voice shakes, says the pit can't vent. All the CO2 settles at the bottom. Go down, take 2 breaths, and you pass out from lack of oxygen. If you don't get pulled up in 5 minutes, you get brain death.
Captain Zhang yanks at his hair.
Eyes all red. Says we didn't bring gas masks. So how do we save them? We can't just watch them die down there. He stomps his foot. Lin doesn't waste words. He takes off heavy gear, drops the backpack on the ground. A system prompt rings in his mind. Snake breath. Holding ability activated. Heart rate slows. Oxygen use drops to minimum. Agility maxed out. Legs powered up completely. Lin takes a deep breath. Holds it tight in his lungs. Suddenly, he kicked off the ground, flipping head down. Like a wild leopard, he shot out. Captain Zhang and the others saw a blur. Lin had already reached the pit bottom, over 10 meters down. The CO2 at the bottom was thick enough to smell sour. A normal person would black out from one breath. But right now, Lin Yi's heart rate was barely above 10. He barely needed any oxygen. He dashed to the 2 men, grabbed Daliu's belt with one hand, yanked Zhao Zhao's collar with the other, powered up with both arms, lifted up 2 big guys, each about 170 pounds. Lin Yu's thigh muscles were rock hard. His tactical boots gripped the slippery mud tight. Stepping on rotten leaves, he charged up the slope in a few big strides and tossed them onto flat ground. Lin shouted out to Su Qingyu to start first aid. Su Qingyu rushed over with her team, started chest compressions and mouth-to-mouth. Another accident happened. An abandoned young surveyor above, in the chaos, stepped back in a panic and slipped. He fell straight into the pit. This guy had terrible luck. He rolled down the whole slope right to the mud edge. That spot was 7 or 8 meters lower than where Dalu fell. Su Qingyu glanced back. She shouted nervously, "This is bad. It's even deeper down there, and the poison gas is worse."
He didn't even catch a breath.
Turned and dove right in again. But now the slope was way steeper, so he put his feet together and slid all the way down like skiing. The stink of the mud was awful. The young guy's face was already purple, foaming at the mouth. Linda grabbed his arm, heaved him up on his shoulder and climbed up. The mud was way too slippery. No solid footing. Linda pulled his leg out, swung his machete to the side, and stabbed it hard into the dirt wall. Used that and his leopard agility to move like he was running on flat ground, stepping on roots and rocks, dodging left and right, and carried the guy up. As soon as he cleared the toxic gas, Lin, set the guy down, finally started gulping air. His heartbeat went back to normal. His lungs filled with fresh air again. All 3 men were pulled out. Su Qingyu was drenched in sweat, doing CPR as hard as she could. After about 5 or 6 minutes, Daliu was the first to cough up sour spit. He snapped his eyes open and gasped for air. Right after that, Zhao Zhao and the surveyor came around too. Color came back to their faces. They survived. Captain Zhang looked at his guys on the ground, then over at Lin, who barely even looked tired. He was speechless. That's a high concentration poison gas down there. A normal person can only hold their breath for a minute or so. And he climbed up a steep slope with a guy on his back.
Takes crazy strength.
No way you can hold your breath that long. But Linda went down twice and seemed fine, as if he was some kind of superhuman. Captain Zhang took a deep breath, walked right up to Linda, stood straight without a word, and saluted him by the book.
He said, "Brother Lin."
"I was blind just now. These 3 owe their lives to you. From now on, you have my full respect," Captain Zhang shouted out loud. Every other guard stood straight, all looking at Linda with respect. The survey team was completely convinced by Lindy. The team kept moving deeper into the restricted zone. After a break, they moved on. Su Qingyu stared at Lin Yi's back, totally admiring him. And now Captain Zhang only took orders from Linda. Linda led the way in front, holding his machete, cutting vines as he walked. Then, above their heads, 2 faint, quick rustling sounds came from the tall trees. The others didn't notice anything. But Linda knew exactly what it meant. It was a secret signal from his leopard. He stopped walking, closed his eyes and listened. With the leopard's crazy reflexes, his senses were sharper than ever. The wind carried a faint smell of gunpowder and human sweat. Linda opened his eyes, turned to Captain Zhang and said, "Stop, someone's coming from behind." Captain Zhang was startled and grabbed his baton right away.
He asked, "Who is it?"
"And how many?" Linda snickered and said, "Who else? Those guys who escaped at the cliff. They're back for revenge. There's not just people. They brought dogs too." Hearing that, Su Qingyu turned pale. She asked, "What now?" "They must have guns." Lin Yu put his machete back at his waist, pointed ahead and said, "Follow this ditch. Go as fast as you can. Look for my markers. Don't stop or look back." Captain Zhang refused right away.
He said, "I'm staying to help you."
"I'm the security captain. How could I let the guide cover the rear alone?" Lin Yu stared at him and said flatly, "If you stay, you'll just get in the way. They have numbers and firepower. Alone in the woods. They can't even find me. Just go, stop arguing." Captain Zhang gritted his teeth, knowing Linda was right. Back in the pit, he'd seen Lin Yu's skills. This young man's abilities were off the charts. If he stayed, he'd slow everyone down. Captain Zhang said, "Brother Lin, be careful, we'll wait up ahead for you." He waved his hand and led the team straight into the dense woods. Once they were gone, Linda turned around and doubled back, scanned the area. This was a classic choke point. Both sides were 70 to 80-degree steep slopes, covered with thorny bush and fat logs. Only a mud path, less than 2 meters wide, in the middle. Lin the powered up and jumped up the left slope like a cat. With extreme agility, the slope felt flat to him. At the top, dead tree trunks were scattered everywhere, each one thick as a man. The bark was rotten, but inside it was hard as iron. Next to them, a pile of weathered stones, each as big as a watermelon. Lin drew his machete, chopped some thick live vines, tough enough to tow a truck. He tied one end of a vine tightly to the biggest trunk, looped the other end around a live tree and knotted it. Then, with force, shoved the big trunk to the edge. Only the tight vine kept it from falling. He piled the rest of the trunks and dozens of rocks, all behind the main tree trunk. As soon as the vine was cut, all that would come crashing down like a landslide. After all that, Linda wasn't even out of breath. He lay in wait behind the big trunk at the top, quietly waiting for his prey. Down on the muddy path came messy footsteps and a lot of cursing. Over a dozen men snaked into the choke point. In front was a bald guy with a black eye patch, one-eyed long. He was holding a double-barrel shotgun with a machete axe on his back.
His fat body shook as he walked.
Next to him was Skinny Monkey, the guy who ran off earlier. Skinny Monkey pointed at footprints as he walked. Long Jay, look, these prints are fresh. That guy brought them. The city crew is right up ahead. Their packs must be loaded with cash and good herbs. One-eyed, long spat yellow phlegm, and cursed, they dare kill my brothers. When we catch that kid, we'll break his arms and legs first. Make him watch us take their money.
The other guys hooted along,
all swinging knives and shotguns, acting cocky as hell. Lin Yu watched from above. As they walked right into his trap, he counted heads. 1, 2, 15. When the last guy stepped into the narrowest spot, Lin moved. He raised his machete and struck hard at the tight vine. Snap, the vine broke clean, without tension. The thickest tree trunk up front suddenly rolled forward. With a rumble, it carried the trunks behind it, along with dozens of watermelon-sized rocks, crashing down the 70 or 80-degree slope. The log crashed down the slope. It sounded like thunder. The poachers below heard it. They looked up. Their faces went pale. A huge dark shadow, with dirt and rocks flying everywhere, was coming straight at their heads. Skinny Monkey screamed in terror, rolling and crawling backward. He shouted, "Move. Something's up there." One-eyed dragon reacted the fastest and shoved the guy next to him aside, then dived into a crack under a big rock. The others weren't so lucky. Both sides were full of thorny bush. There was nowhere to hide. The path was narrow, with 10+ guys squeezed together. Everyone scrambled everywhere. Bang! The log smashed hard into the crowd up front. 2 poachers couldn't dodge in time and got hit on the thigh by the log, with 2 sickening crack sounds. They were both sent flying a few feet. They landed hard in the mud. Dirty water splashed everywhere. Their thighs twisted at weird angles. White bone even poked right through their pants. They rolled and screamed horribly on the ground, and then more logs came down, with stones mixed in like rain. Bang, bang, bang. A rock the size of a watermelon hit a guy's back, smashing him flat on the ground. He spit a mouthful of blood, couldn't get up for a while. Another rock hit a guy's shoulder. His whole arm just hung there limp, snapped right away. The whole valley turned into chaos. Cries, screams, and breaking bones mixed together, all in just a handful of seconds. The log trap wrecked these arrogant poachers. Out of 15 guys, 4 or 5 got their arms or legs broken right away. Some got hit on the head, faces covered in blood, crawling everywhere. Even the unhurt ones were scared stiff, shaking in the grass by the road, too scared to hold their knives. One-eyed dragon yelled, "Who the hell set us up?"
He crawled out from under the rock,
looked at the hands rolling in pain all around. His furious eyes were bulging out. He raised his shotgun and fired 2 shots toward the shaking leaves on the slope. The buckshot tore the tree bark to shreds. Leaves rained down to the ground. But up above, it was dead quiet. Not a sign of anyone. Lin had already cut the vines and backed up over 10 meters on the roots. Hiding behind a huge tree, he coldly watched One-Eyed Dragon waste bullets and reload, fumbling, all the while yelling, "Coward." If you've got guts, come down and fight me one-on-one. Hiding up there ain't a man's way. Linda leaned on the tree, ignoring him. Staying alive in the jungle is what really matters. Lin Yi sneered inside. Who cares about your rules? Skinny Monkey, clutching his scratched face, moved up to One-Eyed Dragon, trembling as he spoke, saying, Boss, that trap was insane. This guy knows the terrain perfectly. We didn't even see where he was, and half our guys are down. Shouldn't we just retreat for now? One-Eyed Dragon cursed, bullshit, and slapped Skinny Monkey hard. It spun him halfway around. So many brothers are dead. Are we supposed to leave with nothing? How am I supposed to survive in the biz after this? One-Eyed Dragon gritted his teeth, face all twisted with rage. He knew Linda was close by, just waiting for them to slip up. Against a tough jungle guy like him, they didn't stand a chance. Then One-Eyed Dragon looked back sharply and yelled, Bring the dogs up. Two guys who hadn't been hurt rushed over with thick iron chains. On the end of the chains, there were 5 huge dogs, waist high, all of them black and tan with short fur, muscles bulging everywhere, scary strong. These weren't just mutts. They were pricey retired hunting dogs One-Eyed Dragon bought, trained just for this. They could bite right through bone, plus they hunted wild boar and black bears. Once spotted by them, even a tiger would be in trouble. As soon as the 5 dogs arrived, smelling fresh blood, they went nuts. Growls rumbled in their throats, baring their fangs, drool dripping from their teeth, yanking the chains to charge ahead, dragging their handlers around. One-Eyed Dragon walked up to the dogs, pointed up the slope, and barked, Go get that guy for me. Tear him apart. As soon as he finished, the handlers let go of the chains. The dogs picked up the scent and rushed madly toward Lindy. Linda was perched on a high branch, hiding behind leaves, peeking down, totally calm. He'd spent years in the wild before, faced way worse animals than this. A few hunting dogs didn't bother him. The biggest one, Dog King, led the pack, a head bigger than the others, and fierce as hell. He snuffled the ground for the scent, charging straight for the tree. Front paws slammed the trunk. The other 4 followed close, surrounding the tree tight, all leaping and gnashing at Linda, claws scraping deep white lines in the bark, chipping wood everywhere. One-Eyed Dragon and his crew puffed up the slope, saw the dogs circling the tree, and grinned wide, his face squeezed into a lump. He shouted at Lindy in the tree, Run. Why don't you run now, huh? He raised his homemade shotgun, aiming at the treetop. You think these mountains belong to you? My dogs will sniff you out like it's nothing. The others started jeering. Boss, stop talking. Just shoot him down. Let the dogs tear him apart. This is payback for the fallen. Lin Yi heard the taunts, but didn't even hide. He pulled the branches aside and boldly leaned out. Looking down at the vicious dogs and cocky One-Eyed Dragon, he sneered, Want to see who's scarier, right? In these mountains, who can out-scary the king of jungle assassins? The leopard? With that thought, Linda activated his system panel and called leopard power. The bloodline of a top predator kicked in. Linda stood on the branch, eyes cold as ice, killing intent pouring out of him. People can't smell it. But to animals, it's the scent of death. Instantly, the noisy woods fell silent. Even the birds flew away. The 5 raging dogs below, their barking stopped dead. Dog King's paws went limp. His huge body collapsed to the ground, fur all bristling. His bark turned into pitiful whining, tail tucked tight between his legs, shaking on the ground like a sieve. The other 4 were even worse, lying flat on the ground, not even daring to look up. One even pissed itself, leaving a huge yellow puddle, with a stink blasting everyone. One-Eyed Dragon was stunned. His gun hand froze mid-air. He shouted in frustration, What's up with you all? Bark! After all the meat I fed you, useless. Bite him. He stomped over and kicked Dog King hard. Dog King took the hit, didn't even dare to whimper, lay flat and still, eyes staring at Linda in terror. Lin Yi grabbed a thick vine, pushed off with his legs, and slid down from over 10 meters high, landing right in front of Dog King. One-Eyed Dragon jumped back in shock, eyes wide as ever. This kid's nuts. Jumping right into the middle of the dogs. But next, that's shocking. One Eye and his guys were all stunned. Linda walked straight up to King Dog. He looked down at him. King Dog didn't bite anyone. He even rolled over, totally exposed his soft belly, completely surrendered, letting himself be handled. Linda squatted down.
He put his right hand on King Dog's scarred head.
A sharp voice echoed in his mind again. Ding, King Dog tamed, gained max scent ability. Just as the voice stopped, a cool rush filled Lingyi's nose. The world smelled totally new to him. The air was no longer just dirt. Now he picked up hundreds of scents. He could smell rotting leaves 100 meters away. Smell underground water 200 meters off. Even One Eye's stink was clear as day. He smelled the gunpowder in their handmade guns, and the animal poop stuck to their shoes. Even One Eye's man had moldy bread in his pocket. He could smell all of it perfectly, with max scent. It was like X-ray vision in the forest. No one could sneak up on him. Lingyi stood up, tapped King Dog's thick neck, pointed straight at One Eye. His words were cold and sharp, told King Dog to attack them. King Dog heard the order. He sprang up fast. No more fear in his eyes, only savage light. He stared down One Eye and let out a fierce roar. The other 4 dogs stood up too. 5 vicious dogs bared their teeth, glaring fiercely at their old owner. One Eye's scalp tingled. He broke out in a cold sweat. His voice cracked, cursing that the dogs were crazy. He yelled about how he fed them meat every day. King Dog didn't care what he yelled, kicked off with his strong back legs, and leaped right at them. One Eye's guy dodged too slow. King Dog chomped his thigh hard. He let out a scream. Sharp teeth tore through his pants and bit deep into his flesh. King Dog suddenly shook his head with a loud rip and tore off a chunk of flesh and skin. Blood sprayed everywhere. The helper hit the ground, screaming and rolling. The other 4 dogs went wild, charging the crowd, biting everyone they saw, attacking people's legs non-stop. The poachers used to act tough with the dogs, never thought they'd get bitten back. The whole crowd was in chaos. One Eye panicked, shouted, "Shoot, shoot now. Kill those beasts." Raised his gun, pulled the trigger. Bang, a huge blast. Black smoke and buckshot flew out, but the dogs were too fast. The shot hit a nearby tree instead. Bark went flying. Gunshots made King Dog fiercer. He let go and lunged for One Eye's throat. One Eye was scared out of his wits, dropped the gun and ran for it. His guys saw the boss run and forgot their buddy, tumbled away, crawling backwards. Linda crossed his arms, watched coldly as they scattered like headless chickens. But that was the perfect spot Linda had already picked. One Eye led his guys running wild. All 5 dogs chased them, making a total mess. In just tens of meters, One Eye tripped and crashed into a dense patch of thorny vines. Those vines had 3-inch barbed thorns. Clothes would rip on contact, pulled into skin, leaving bloody gashes. Right in the front, One Eye's face was slashed with 2 bloody grooves. The pain stopped him cold, but the dogs were already on them, biting fiercely at their butts and legs. All ahead was thorny brush that peeled skin off. Behind them were mad dogs. The poachers were stuck, nowhere to go. Their formation was a mess. King Dog bit through One Eye's lower leg. He screamed from the pain. Rolling on the ground, he drew his machete, hacked wildly at the thorns ahead, managed to cut a way out. One Eye and his 3 core guys squeezed through. When they finally got out, their clothes were just rags. Their faces and arms were covered in bloody cuts. They looked scarier than ghosts. One guy glanced back and said the dogs didn't follow. They panted heavily, legs shaking hard. The vines were way too thick. Big dogs couldn't push through. All they could do was bark from the other side. One Eye collapsed on the ground, wiped the blood from his face, cursed between clenched teeth. Today was a huge loss. Next time I'm bringing more men and dynamite. I'll blow that kid and those dogs sky high. They were in a low spot in the woods. Tall trees all around, over 10 meters high. Thick leaves blocked out the sun. The forest was dim. It felt creepy and cold. They still hadn't caught their breath yet. A chunk of muddy bark fell from above, landing right on One Eye's bald head. He jumped up, totally spooked, lifted his freshly loaded gun, stared hard at the tree canopy. One Eye yelled loudly, demanding whoever it was to come out. His hands were shaking. High in the trees, Linda was leaning against the trunk. Beside him, a big clouded leopard was snarling below, letting out a deep growl. Linda held a thick parachute cord, wrapped it around pulleys on the tree. It was tied to a big net. It was military grade, used for expeditions. A special beast-proof, anti-cutting net. It had wire threaded in the lines. A knife couldn't slice through, and fire couldn't burn it. Heavy lead weights tied to the corners. Drop that net, and even an elephant couldn't break out. Lin Yi looked at the 4 battered guys below, let out a cold laugh, asked what they were staring at. Told them, I'm up here. One Eye and his 3 guys got together back to back, all huddled up, 4 guns pointing up. One Eye glared with his one eye and shouted furiously, told Linda not to get cocky, challenged him to come down and fight, mocked him for hiding in a tree. Linda shoved the leaves aside, showed half his face and asked, a fight? 4 guys with guns. Against me, empty-handed? Man, your face is thicker than this tree bark. One Eye was fuming, told him to shut up, thought he couldn't hit him, told his men to shoot where the voice came from, turned him into a sieve. They instantly cocked their guns to fire, right as they moved under the net, and looked up to aim. Linda swung and chopped the rope holding up the net. A heavy whoosh from the treetop. The huge weighted net crashed down. It dropped straight onto all 4 of them. The woods were dim, and the net was army green. By the time One Eye noticed, the net was already on them. One Eye screamed, what the hell? Tried to dodge, but too late. A loud crash. The net landed right on their heads. The lead weights hit hard, sealing them in. Completely closed off the net's mouth. One Eye yelled inside that it was a net, told them to cut it loose and swung his machete. He chopped hard. Sparks flew. The net didn't even have a mark. But One Eye's hand was left numb from the shock. He almost dropped the knife. Linda didn't give them a second. As soon as they were trapped, he gripped the main cord with both hands, feet braced against the tree trunk. He threw all his weight back. The pulley system worked perfectly. All 4 men together weighed at least 700 pounds. Impossible to pull up by hand. But with the pulleys, Lin Yi just felt a heavy pull. His arm muscles bulged. The rope started snapping back fast. The pulley on the tree trunk screeched. The military net below tightened instantly. Like a huge sack, the 4 guys got squeezed together tight. Someone yelled, ouch. Inside the net, I'm getting crushed. Someone shouted, boss, stop waving that knife. It stabbed my leg. It was total chaos inside the net. The 4 of them looked like turtles caught in a net. Arms and legs tangled everywhere. Couldn't even use their homemade guns and machetes? All that stuff dropped to the ground. Linda kept pulling with all his strength.
He backed up, yanking the rope.
The net was pulled a meter up off the ground. 4 poacher leaders, 2-3 meters tall, were now dangling in midair. The more they struggled in the net, the tighter it closed on them. The 4 squeezed into one big ball. Face to face, legs on legs. They could barely breathe. One-eyed dragon's face turned red in the net. He kept yelling, let me down. He called Linda a little bastard, sighed he was gonna kill him. Linda wrapped the parachute cord around the tree trunk 3 times. After tying a dead knot so it wouldn't come loose, he clapped the dust off his hands, then slid down to the ground using a thick vine. The clouded leopard jumped down too. It circled the hanging net. Every so often it bared its fangs at them. The thugs screamed in terror. They squeezed even tighter in the middle. Linda walked under the net, picked up all the guns and machetes from the ground, then tossed them far away.
He looked up at One-Eyed Dragon, who was still cursing.
With a stern look, he grabbed a thick branch, aimed right at One-Eyed Dragon's shin poking out, and whacked him hard. Crack a dull thud. One-Eyed Dragon screamed in pain. He was crying and sniffling from the pain. He hurt so bad he couldn't even curse anymore. Lin Yi said, save your breath. Use it to talk to the cops. He tossed the branch away and ignored him. He walked to One-Eyed Dragon's canvas bag on the ground. That bag, One-Eyed Dragon guarded fiercely the whole time. It only just fell out. Linda unzipped it, emptied everything on the ground, besides some cash and dry food. The most noticeable thing was a thick, black notebook. Linda flipped through it. Inside were tightly packed hunting records. March 5th, sold a tiger hide to Boss Lee. April 10th, sent out 3 bear gallbladders to the south. Every animal killed and when, who it was sold to, and their address. All clearly recorded. This was ironclad proof of the poaching operation. Once handed in, none of the buyers could get away. Linda closed the notebook and stuffed all the key evidence into his pack. Job done. Time to wrap things up. Linda pulled a military signal flare from his waistband, loaded a red flare into it. He walked to the center of the clearing, aimed the gun at a gap in the treetops.
Bang!
A red light shot up, blasting through the canopy. It exploded in the sky over the 10,000 mountains. A blinding red smoke burst out. Lin Yi got the evidence ready. He fired the signal flare and called in the border police for support. Before the smoke even cleared, the thumping sound of helicopters came from the sky. Leaves started raining down as the noise got louder. 2 green choppers hovered over the clearing. The doors slid open. Thick ropes dropped down. Then a dozen fully geared officers slid down fast. They rappelled down the ropes. Captain Wang led with a submachine gun.
He hit the ground and called, "Security, B-team!"
The officers fanned out quickly, aiming their guns all around, nervous and sweating hard. HQ said there was a gang of armed criminals here, but after circling with his gun, Captain Wang was stunned. No gunfire, no resistance. In the middle of the clearing, a huge camo net bundled up 7 or 8 guys like dumplings. Their faces were all swollen from getting beat. A few with broken arms and missing legs were groaning. That one-eyed dragon leader had a branch stuck in his thigh, hurting so much he was rolling his eyes. Next to the net was a thick vine tied to a pulley up the tree. The trap was crazy well built. Even scarier was a huge clouded leopard by the net, licking its paw. Beside the leopard was a tough dog with one blind eye squatting nearby. A leopard and a dog, standing guard like statues, staring hard at the men in the net. Captain Wang froze in place, had no idea where to point his gun. Lin Yi stepped out from behind a tree, patted the mud off his hands. The leopard and hunting dog heard the sound and stood right up, obediently wagged their tails behind him. A couple officers jumped back in fear. Everyone aimed straight at the 2 animals. Linda waved his hand. The leopard and dog instantly lay back down. Captain Wang swallowed hard, looked at the poachers in the net. Then at Linda, he asked, "You did all this alone?" Linda stepped closer, handed over the black notebook.
He said, "These are their trades from the past years."
All the buyers and contacts are in here. These guys are yours now. Be careful. They still have some homemade guns, but I've already disarmed them. Captain Wang took the notebook, flipped through a couple pages, and his eyes went wide. He snapped the notebook closed. His look at Linda completely changed. Took down 7 or 8 armed thugs without firing a shot, and got all the evidence against the poaching ring. No way, this guy's just a mountain villager. He's like a special ops king. Captain Wang slapped his thigh in excitement. Good job. Major achievement. Definitely a huge accomplishment.
He said, "Kid."
You're a hero. Suddenly there was rustling in the bush. The military doctor and ground team arrived.
He ran over, out of breath,
looking at the mess on the ground, and then at Linda, not a hair out of place. He let out a sigh of relief. Linda asked, "Got the sample?" The military doctor nodded, patted the cooler by his side, and said, "Got it." Li Juni said, "Very rare virus samples. With this, we can make antidote in large quantities. Linda, you saved countless lives. People and samples are safe. We're heading down the mountain right away, with Captain Wang's team escorting." They soon reached the temporary command post outside. The whole county police were in an uproar. The black notebook was handed in. In less than 3 hours, the provincial police made their move. Arrests based on the records. Got every single one. Hide traders, medicine dealers selling bear bile, drivers running illegal transport. All got dragged out of bed that night. This huge poaching chain in the 10,000 mountains, that had been running for years, was wiped out completely. 3 days later, outside County Hospital ward, the county chief and a few officials showed up, personally came to see Linley. The chief shook Lin Yi's hand hard and said, "Comrade Lin, thank you. You not only saved the expedition team, but helped us eliminate a big problem. The province gave strict orders. There must be rewards." Somebody handed over a thick, red envelope. The chief said, "This is your bonus from the province. 30,000 yuan. Back in 88, 30,000 was a jaw-dropping sum. Enough to buy a few big yards in town. Linda took the envelope. He didn't even look at the money. His eyes were fixed on the small cooler the military doctor handed over. The military doctor said, "This is the special medicine, just made from the sample you recovered." Her eyes were a little red. "Better give it to your sister right away." Linda took the box. He used to catch venomous snakes with steady hands. But now holding this light plastic box, but his fingers are shaking. The veins on his hand are bulging. He doesn't say a word, turns and opens the hospital room door. His sister is so skinny on the hospital bed. Her face is yellowish. She's sleeping, eyes closed. The doctor takes the medicine, quickly mixes it, injects it into her veins. Lin is standing by the bed, staring hard at the drip bottle. Drop by drop. Half an hour later, the yellow on her face starts to fade. Her breathing becomes steady. On the monitor nearby, all the numbers return to normal. Doctor says her fever is gone. The toxins are breaking down. Her life is saved. Doctor takes off his stethoscope, lets out a long breath. Linda suddenly turns around, walks to the window, grabs the windowsill tightly with both hands. His nails dig deep marks into the wooden sill. Last time, his sister died right here on this bed. This time, he fought his way into the 10,000 mountains, battled vipers, tamed clouded leopard, caught criminals, finally snatched her life back from the grim reaper. The county chief is still outside the hospital room, sees Linda coming out. The chief comes forward, pats him on the shoulder, and says, "Linda, with your skills and courage, you're wasted just farming in the village. The county forestry bureau needs an inspection team leader. Iron rice bowl, government pay. If you agree, you can start tomorrow." As soon as he says this, the doctors and nurses all widen their eyes. This is like winning the lottery. So many people fight for official status, but can't get a single slot. Linda looks at the 30,000 yuan in his hand, then turns to his sleeping sister in the ward. He puts the money in his pocket, smiles at the chief, and says, "Chief, I appreciate the offer, but I'm used to. Can't stand office life, not used to the uniform." The chief is stunned, says, "Think it over. No need to think anymore." Linda interrupts him, turns and heads for the hospital entrance, strides toward the distant 10,000 mountains. Half a year passes. Kaioshan village has changed. On the east, barren land has a 3-level white wall, red brick building. A wooden sign hangs, 10,000 Mountains Ecological Station. 8-year-old Lin Xiaoyaya is chasing the big yellow dog in the yard. Her cheeks are rosy, giggling non-stop. Nothing like the dying kid half a year ago. Lin sits shirtless by the well washing his face. Cold water runs over his rock-solid muscles.
His scars look scary.
Xiaoyaya calls out, "Bro, Black Tiger stole my meat bun again." Xiaoyaya runs over angrily to complain. The big yellow dog called Black Tiger was tamed by Lin the last year in the rainforest. It carries half a bun to Lin Yu's feet, wags its tail like a fan. Lin smacks its head and says, "You won't starve. Go guard the gate." Black Tiger whimpers, obediently lies at the doorway. Now everyone in the village knows not to mess with Lin. Villain Liu Depio went in and got years in jail. The leftover troublemakers pass by Lin Yi's house. Don't even dare to breathe loud. A few days earlier, a hooligan peed at the door drunk. Got chased by Black Tiger for 3 streets. Ended up with torn pants. Finally brought 2 hens to apologize. Washing his face, a roaring sound outside. An old jeep stops. 3 big men hop out. Leader wears a floral shirt, thick gold chain. Obvious outsiders trying to trade. He peeks into the yard, shouts out, "Hey, who's Linda? Come help us." Linda wipes his face with a towel, walks over and says, "That's me." Floral shirt guy sizes him up, lights up a smoke and says, "Here you know 10,000 mountains well. US guys wanna head in? Find wild ginseng and lingi mushrooms. Guide us for a day, $10 a day. Enough for a poor villager to eat for weeks." Linda sneers. These outsiders really treat the mountains like their backyard?
He says not guiding.
It's wild in the mountains. Lin Yi bluntly refuses, says outsiders aren't allowed in. Floral shirt's face turns dark.
He throws his smoke, stomps on it.
Says, "Bro, don't be disrespectful." Boss says, "We must go in today. Whether you guide or not, you're coming." The other 2 surround him. Hands reach for their bulky waists, obviously carrying weapons. Linda doesn't even lift his eyelid. His lips move slightly. He whistles sharply. Black tiger springs up from the ground, growls and bites floral shirt's pant leg. Its teeth hit bone. Floral shirt guy shivers in fear, just as he's about to kick the dog. A cold, heavy thing drops on his head. He looks up, almost faints. A thick king cobra is coiled on the doorframe. Raises up, neck skin stretched. Its red tongue almost touches his nose. Eyes locked on him. One wrong move and the fangs will pierce his neck. Floral shirt's legs go weak. The smell of pea spreads. He's literally scared pissless. The other two men stumble back, their knees shaking. Linda says one word. Leave. Floral shirt scrambles on all fours. Frees himself from the dog. Jumps into the car. Floors it, black smoke puffing. They vanish. Linda waves at the king cobra. It slithers up the pillar back to the roof.
Tiles, Black Tiger resumes his spot.
Afternoon. Army Dr. Su Qingyu jumps out of a jeep in camo gear. Carries a heavy black bag into the yard. Su Qingyu says, Linda, your equipment's been approved. Tosses the bag onto the stone table. Opens it. Inside, anti-cut camo outfit, high tactical boots. A sturdy mountain knife. Military crossbow with steel-tipped bolts. Su Qingyu says, research team wants you added. Caught game, well done. This is special approval from the top. Su Qingyu looks at him and asks, really planning to enter the no-man zone solo? Linda weighs the mounting knife in his hand. Feels right. Says outer areas are clear. Rare herbs and poachers are hidden deep. If I don't go, no one's tough enough. Heads to the backyard. There's a thick thigh-sized log for splitting wood. With system strength and herbal nourishment over half a year, his body's way beyond normal limits. Linda grips the knife handle. Muscles tighten instantly. Wrists snap with force. Slash, a flash of blade. No heavy chopping sound. Just a crisp hawk note. The thick log, split cleanly in half with one blow. The cut is smooth as glass. Su Qingyu is stunned.
Even top special ops in the team.
Can't do a clean chop like that. Lin Yi says, nice knife. Sheaths it back. Nods and yells. From the tree canopy, a low growl. A dark shadow leaps down from high branches. Lands beside Linda. It's lightning the clouded leopard. He's grown way bigger. Standing nearly to Lin Yi's waist. Strong limbs. Looks like a small tiger. Bumps Linda. Quickly retracts claws. Rubs his head on Lin Yi's pants. Purring. Linda asks lightning, ate enough? Time to work. Linda pats his back. The leopard lifts its head and roars to the mountains. Birds scatter from the hills. Lin Yi heads back inside. Puts on camo gear. Puts on tactical boots. Straps the mountain knife to his thigh. Crossbow on his back. Belt packed with antidotes, med kit, food. All geared up. He steps out looking wild and fierce. Now the toughest hunter in the mountains. Xiaoya runs over and hugs his leg. Asks, bro, are you heading into the mountains? Linda squats and rubs her hair. Says, yeah, I'll check things out. Back in a few days. You stay home, behave. No wandering off. Xiaoya brightly answers, okay. Bro, catch some wild chickens and make soup. Linda stands up. Nods to Su Qingyu. Says the station. Please help out these days. Su Qingyu says, don't worry, go ahead. Linda blows a short whistle. Leopard leaps out to lead the way. Black Tiger stays at the gate. The king cobra guards the rooftops. He heads out of the village. Steps into the primeval rainforest.